So I came back with a part 2 video. What is the next step after you've made your template and how to apply it. So I got a few questions with people saying, okay, I made the template. How do you use this? I guess they just weren't, really familiar with the step 2. So I just said, let me make this quick video explaining exactly what you do once you make it. So let me mention a few important things. When I first started making the U parts or wigs, period, I noticed that they wouldn't always fit right. Sometimes it's too tight, gave me a headache, or sometimes it was too big, or it would bother my ears. It wouldn't come down long enough in the back, where it rests at, just whatever. So one thing to keep in mind is the wig is going to turn out the size of whatever you make it on. So if I'm using this canvas head, some people use styrofoam heads. If you are using a styrofoam head and you're going to use your template, when you put the template on the styrofoam head and you see that it's there's extra space in there, somehow you have to come up with a way to build up that styrofoam head to fit so that there's no give in between the template and the styrofoam head. You can cover it with tape, the same tape you made using to make the template. Just keep going around and around with that to make it thicker. Use the shower caps and build up with a few shower caps underneath and going around with tape. You just have to play around with different things. Or you can use a canvas head. The canvas heads come with different diameters. Like my head is 21.5, so I use 22. And so there's no doubt about the fact that is this going to fit or not. My wigs have come out perfect every time because I have the proper head size that I'm making them on. And as you see, my template fits the head size. So what you will do once you have your template, you place it on whatever you're going to make the head, whatever you're going to make your wig on, you place it on that. And then next, you will take your cap, whatever you're going to use, to place it on top of the template. Let me point out a few different things about the template to make sure you have everything that you're supposed to have on the template. As you see, I have these dashed lines. This is where my hairline stops. This is where I would place my large U opening if I'm going to do a large U opening or a side part, whatever. You mark it up however you want to do it. The reason why I have dashed lines and I also have the edge where it stops is because on these dashed lines, this is my anchor braid. I leave hair out, so I make an anchor braid and I mark that down so when I'm making my wig, I don't bring my cap all the way to where my hairline stops. I bring it to the anchor braid. And you take your cap, place it over the template, line that up, I like to get the, I call racing stripe, to go right down the middle. So just let me check that. Okay. So then I just take stick pins and I'm going to bring the cap up to the dotted line. The dashed line, that's where I'm going to start my tracks because I'm leaving hair out. I'm not going to bring it all the way out to the edge. If I was not going to leave hair out, I will pull this all the way to the edge and tack it down. But I'm going to leave hair out, so we'll just take it to the dotted line. But the rest of the cap gets pulled all the way to where the template stops. So I know this is where my hair stops in the back. But 9 times out of 10, I never take my tracks all the way down to where this stops, because when you do your head like this, you don't want pop-up. So I always place my tracks above that bottom line. I'll like leave this, there's like a seam, I'll leave that untouched and start my tracks up above. And then when you braid down your hair, very rare is your where your hair stops. Very rarely is there somewhere to sew right there, because you're braiding down and probably pulling the braids up to secure them or whatever. And then after you have it secure, the next thing is to make your marks for where your part's going to be. See, we have the stop and start right there. So if I wanted, I would make my mark there. You can see through here. Just make your marks on your template very dark so you can stretch this cap through to see exactly, you know, where you've drawn your mark, since it is kind of hard to see through. But you can always peel it back and draw your mark. Or some people even will cut out the template and leave that open so you can actually feel that it's cut, and you just trace your line, whichever works. But that's basically it for how to use the mold. You just want to fit the cap to the template, and you want to fit the template to what you're making your wig on. And if you can do those things, your wig will fit pretty good. As you see, I made this one the same way. It's a U part, so here's my leave out like I was mentioning. And back, everything fits really good. It's not too big, it's not too tight, it doesn't hurt. It came out really well. And without me doing this, I've had bad luck in the past. So that's why I always use my template and always use the correct size thing to make my wigs on. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry it took so long. See you next time.